friends, real TV.
I'm feeling very calm this week, for once in my life.
Mellow.
Yeah, very mellow.
Chill. Relax.
Yeah.
Opulence.
Opulence. And I think it's because I have been watching people with beautiful homes, living in luxury, and I felt like I'm there.
Yeah, I feel that sense of just a lack of concerns about, money. Which, as a man who passionately hates...
No, say.
As a man who passionately hates capitalism, there's nothing that I enjoy more than watching the bourgeoisie of the Hollywood A-listers show me the insides and outsides of their maisons. I tried to make it French and it failed. I don't know. I haven't A-level, but Le Chateau de Mariah Carey.
I think you'll find she lives in L'Appartement.
Little what?
L'Appartement.
That's not French.
No? What is it?
Little Parlement.
L'Appartement.
Oh, apartment? She lives in an apartment?
Yeah. A big
What a poor
penthouse. A big penthouse though, Aidan. Like a top floor New York penthouse. Not a poor little bitch, is she? Back off.
I don't know. The thing is, like, Mariah Carey's so skinny that she could live in the wrapping between a roll of, like, tinfoil and she'd be perfectly comfortable.
So skinny! Do you mean that
She's the skinniest woman alive.
Ouch!
Dua Lipa wishes she could. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The skinny legend. The woman who did a Walker's advert campaign and took one tight bite of a single crisp but did not swallow because Mariah Carey has not been known to swallow.
Do you think they had a spittoon for all the chewed up crisp?
I think that in her mouth there is a black hole of sorts, which transports anything she consumes to another galaxy, universe, whatever you want to call it.
J-Lo's stomach, maybe. Yes, so as we've said, Mariah Carey lived in the early noughties in a beautiful New York apartment with an absolute ludicrous amount of rooms, and I also think Mariah Carey looks a bit like a can of Coke when she dresses up as Santa.
I'd say more of a bottle of Coke.
Well, she's a
bottle body.
She's a skinny legend after all.
She is so skinny that she is almost transparent. Organs, she doesn't need them.
Even her
digestive system, I don't think so. What does she have to digest? The adoring energy of all of her fans? No, she doesn't care about her fans. She cares about one thing, and it is the fact that she is scientifically a 2D shape.
I can't wait for her book. Her book's coming out this year, towards Christmas. And
which, incidentally, she is thinner than. Sorry, I'm really, flogging a dead horse here.
She has a nice flat.
Flat? Funny thing about flat, Mariah Carey, flat. Do you know the only coffee she drinks is a flat white?
The only bread she eats is flat bread.
Breads. Hold on, there's more out there. Flat bread. Oh my god, all of her furniture, everyone thinks is expensive. It isn't, it's flat pack, it's from IKEA.
Fake friends, real TV.
Freddie, how would you describe Jackass in 5 seconds?
A bunch of stupid people doing stupid things to each other.
Stop. I would describe Jackass in 5 seconds as an exploration of early noughties masculinity.
Fake friends, real TV.
The sound of the underground is a religious experience.
Yeah. I can remember being on an overcast December day in the car, and Sound of the Underground was on, and it was in the week between them unveiling Sound of the Underground and finding out that Sound of the Underground had become number one and the Girls Aloud had won the competition. And Mum being like, talking about one of her friends who wanted One True Voice to win, and she wanted Sound of the Underground, Girls Aloud, and she was like, what did she say? Those little boys don't stand a bloomin' chance. Listen to this.
I just think, I mean, I would argue for, and I don't mind that it was, but the song choices definitely highlighted the producers wanted Girls Aloud to win, because One True Voice's track is, like, I'm a fan, and I may have added it to a playlist, but I find Sound of the Underground, it's gritty, it's a bit naughty. The music video for the time was like, do you know what I mean? And it even made me like Cheryl Cole, Tweedy.
It is gritty. It must have as well, like, because I guess we grew up with music that kind of was starting to sound like that, and I think that almost rocky influence, but very much still quite bubblegum music. That like fascinating kind of contradiction that existed at the time. All the things she said being another
Billie
obvious
Eilish
one.
wishes.
But like, I loved that sound, but I think the fact that we grew up with that sound, it's not to be underestimated that people at the time, particularly like teenagers at that time, probably found Sound of the Underground very refreshing and very like, unlike anything.
Well, it was. It's the like. Is it a bass or an electric guitar at the opening? But like, it sends me straight to like a Berlin like sex club.
An underground sex club at that.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. Not that I've been to one. Well. No, I'm there. I'm back in Berghain.
Welcome back. Put your clothes on.
Who do you think my favourite member of Girls Aloud is?
I think your favourite member of Girls Aloud is Nicola.
Correct. You are absolutely correct. And do you know, I'm pretty sure, from what I watched, I'm pretty sure she's the only member of Girls Aloud who never fell into the bottom 2 or 4.
That's cool trivia. Very cool trivia there from Aidan Bridlington Hardy.
Some may say she is the Queen Bee of Girls Aloud. I think you missed my reference.
I have.
If anyone at home is listening and found that funny, please send me a tweet, because I thought that was quite good.
Look at him. He's tucking into his choccicino.
It's not a
like,
choccicino,
oh, I thought that was very funny.
It's actually a Galaxy, an orange hot chocolate, from a Dolce Gusto machine.
Apologies.
Obviously. Sorry, yeah. So I after having my Desperado, switched it up for something a little bit warmer, a little bit more festive for these August nights. Or probably September by the time you're hearing this. Perhaps October. It really depends.
September 2021.
That was shady. I'm not that slow at editing. Well, actually.
Oh, actually, I'm the one editing this one.
Yeah, good point.
Apologies that Aidan's not in this episode.
You'd 100% do that. You'd, like, pre-record, like, sorry, Aidan's ill this week and he can't speak.
Something kind of makes me want to speed. Makes me want to speed in the dead of night. Down a Tokyo highway.
Actually, you can't speed down a Tokyo highway. Because in Japan, most vehicles have this like something installed in them by law that prevents them from going above a certain speed limit.
Well, then this song is good for nothing. Then I don't need that. Oh my god, whose voice is that? He's like, because there's one, because like you know how they sing in like full voice for most of it, and then there's one who's like, I don't need no good advice. Da, 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 da,
It's
da.
gotta be.
Who is that? It's kind of hypnotic.
Who would it be? It's not Nicola Roberts. It's not Cheryl.
Shez
to her mates. Shez to the toilet attendant that she beat up.
Oh, all for a lolly!
What? I heard that, like, I don't know, because I heard that it was, that it was people, like, painted it as, like, Cheryl Cole or Cheryl Tweedy's, like, assaulted this person, but apparently...
Imagine if Cheryl Hole got into trouble for it for mistaken identity.
But apparently, like, the toilet attendant, it was, like, aggravated. Like, it wasn't just, like, her being a diva. But I don't know how true that is. I don't know enough about it to...
Do you remember when... Sorry to jump off topic, but do you remember when... You know when Cheryl performed Fight for This Love on X Factor results for the first time, and she always slit down the middle... Not down the middle, down the sides, trousers. Not slit down the middle. Slit down the sides trousers. And then it was one of those situations where everywhere was like, Primark has sold out of this style of trousers. Next to sold out of this style of trousers. I was like, other than Cheryl Cole, have never seen anyone wear them.
I actually don't dislike Cheryl Cole. I keep going to say Hole. I'm really sorry. I've been watching a lot of Cheryl Hole content today. But I do think that her song 3 Words with Will I Am is arguably the worst song ever made.
I don't agree at all. I think it's her best song of the lot.
I think it's so bland and boring, and it just it's the definition of lacking.
Oh my god. It feels like being trapped in a city far from your love and with not enough clothes on, but it's chucking it down with rain, and all you have is a newspaper for cover. I love it.
That was quite a visual, but I would argue that, like, there is a song already perfect for that visual, and it's Daniel Powter, Bad Day, so, like... No, that's not what I'm thinking of.
What if your vibe is more club, but you still feel sad?
If I heard 3 Words in the club, I'd kill the DJ. I also find her song... it's about, like, sunshine or something.
Oh my god! Under the Sun? I love it! It's a whole vibe of its own. I've never heard her do it before, and I've never heard her do it so successfully.
Fake Friends, Real TV.
All I want to talk about is how as a child... and I only came to terms with this recently, but I genuinely think one of my first celebrity crushes was one half of Ant and Dec.
Which half?
Which half do you think?
Ant.
Oh, no.
Dec. He reminds
Dec,
me of my dad,
100%.
Aidan. You should come over sometime.
So anyway, I'm a Celebrity, great television show. You're not a big fan of it, are you?
Like everyone in the country, I did have moments. Are you cheersing me? Oh, it looks like you're cheersing me. Here's to the podcast.
Here's to the podcast, episode 5, 6, question mark.
5. Yeah. I definitely did have moments with it, particularly when I was at high school, and everyone was watching it, and it was on every single night. And if you got behind, you got behind on what everyone was going to be talking about whilst we were waiting to go inside.
Fake friends, real TV.
Wife swap. Would you? I think the easiest thing to do here is, I'd like to say always do, but I feel like we maybe did it for 2 weeks and then stopped doing it. How about you explain wife swap in 5 seconds?
Yes, okay. So, the two wives are very different, and they swap families, and the families are very different from one another, and they try and change them.
Thank you. Well, you can't, right. You can't run out of time and go, I'm just gonna speed up to finish my sentence. That's not how it works.
Sorry. Okay, your turn. Let's see if you can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
What? Oh, I thought you were counting me in. I thought you were counting me in. If you say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 audibly whilst I'm explaining, no one's gonna hear me say it.
Oh, go on then. Have another go.
Freddie, I would like to point something out before I say this, and I hope it's close enough to my explanation of wife swap that you can't cut it out of the episode. Freddie laughs so much at his own jokes, he spends a significant amount of editing muting his own laughter, so he doesn't have to cringe at a thought that no one finds him funnier than himself.
Do you know what? There's a lot of truth in that. And in the last episode, there was a moment where I really loved the joke I made and laughed at it, but Aidan didn't laugh. So I cut his laugh from another part of the episode and put it afterwards.
You notice how once again, still you're the only one laughing.
I know. Don't worry, Aidan. In the final version, it will be you chuckling away at all this.
That's gonna, you're gaslighting me. Because I'll listen to it and then I'll laugh and I'll be like, well, maybe it was funny.
Oh my gosh! Exactly.
Jesus Christ! The way that the media can manipulate you.
This is it. I've really learnt a lot from doing this.
Oh my god, what was how easy it is to take your own words out of context. Like, when people talk about bad edits on reality TV shows, and they're like, oh, it's how it was edited. I've always been like, well, you have to have said it in some respect. And obviously it can be thrown around, but I didn't realise how easy it is to really take something someone says and fuck with it.
I've got to say, wife swap. There was an episode I was watching today as part of the research, and
can we stop calling it research? It's not.
There was an episode that I was watching for my own enjoyment today, and the editing was hysterical. It was this couple, and the wife who had swapped was saying, based on her assumptions about what the other wife was like based on her family, that her husband was not going to be enjoying himself. And she was like, if I know Jeff, he's going to be bouncing off the walls. He's going to be furious. And then it cut to him and he was like, yeah, she seems like a really nice lady. I'm really looking forward to having her around. And then it cuts back to the wife like, he won't have it. He won't have it. She won't last the week. And if not, he won't last the week. And then it cuts back to him and he was like, I quite like the idea of this, a different wife every week. Absolutely just impeccable editing. And they split up at the end of the episode.
Oh my god.
Like, you know, at the end when they meet up
and show, like, what happened since.
Yeah. Well, it all came to a head in the chat, which they have in that empty restaurant, to talk.
Or sometimes it's like an office.
Yeah. Oh my god. Do you know who I'd love to see as a wife swap couple?
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce and Jay-Z and Richard and Judy.
Oh my, that's incredible. Do you know what? Beyonce would not take any of Richard's shit.
Yeah, they would clash. I could see Jay-Z and Judy having quite a lovely weekend together.
I think all the drama's on the Beyonce-Richard side, mainly because Richard can be a bit pompous and a bit of...
He's a bit partridge, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think Jay-Z and Judy would just be kicking back, chilling, ordering some food on Postmates. Jay-Z would be like, I'm recording a track in the studio, do you want to jump on it? And Judy would be like, yeah, do you want to recommend the next book from my book club? And Jay-Z
She'd take a drag on his cigar, if you catch my drift.
Obviously, there's been that era where a lot of Beyonce's songs sort of focused on Jay-Z's affair. Whether it happened or not, we don't know. But...
I don't know why I knowingly grinned at that, like, I know.
Becky with the good hair. But a Beyonce concept album revolving around the wife swap affair of Judy of Richard and Judy fame sleeping with her husband Jay-Z while she was technically being the mother to her children during that period in my house. Iconic visual number one, first music video of the album. Beyonce is sat presenting This Morning with Philip Schofield, and she starts just like going off about Jude. It has such...
It's such potential. Instead of lemonade, it's called like Iron Brew.
Or
Black coffee.
Black coffee. Judy, a black coffee drinker, I don't think.
No?
I think it's...
What, a macchiato?
Oh, Judy definitely strikes me as a person who asks for an extra hot cappuccino.
Do you know the one drink I could never make, and I'm so glad Mariah Carey never came in?
Oh,
a
not
flat white. I could never master a flat white.
Do you know what? The Mariah Carey flat white scenario has been received very well. My friend sent me a photo of a flat white, and they were like, living my best Mariah Carey.
Was it
life.
Ellie?
Yes, it was.
She sent me that too. She always messages after the show. Shout out to Ellie. She won't mind being mentioned.
Yeah, shout out to Ellie.
I'm so sad I've never met her in person.
Sarah and Ellie actually are both big supporters of a podcast.
Very supportive, and oh my god, we should have them on for an episode.
Oh, that would be such a scream.
That would be so fun. I'm just gutted I've never met them. And Ellie, what are the odds that we live in the same city?
Fake friends, real TV.
Do you know Will Young is the first concert I ever went to?
I did not know that.
It was at Blickling Hall, and the support act was a woman playing the saw.
The saw?
Yeah, she was sawing things, and that was the music.
Very Fluxus.
It was very Fluxus, and like all these kind of middle class people gathering to watch Will Young, and that's what they were served as the support act. Quite legendary.
That's quite iconic. I say everything's iconic, but that is quite iconic.
Actually, that's quite a remarkable thing, is that the first live act in kind of a larger scale capacity than a village fete that I ever saw was not Will Young, but his support act who played the saw.
The combination of this really weird sort of performance art-esque opening act and this manufactured reality TV pop star combined, I think those two events might have been what cemented your personality.
I think that is really the crossroads of who I am, isn't it? So the Pop Idol game was...
that thing you tried to discuss a long time ago.
Was really, really different from SingStar. This was not a singing game.
No, didn't you like... It was almost like a dancing game.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. It was just a matter of
you
like...
just press the buttons to...
Yeah, getting the right sequence. And then if you got the wrong sequence, your singing avatar would... Sorry, every time I hear the word avatar, I think of Avatar the film. I picture like it's all just tall blue people if they were in the context of Pop Idol. But like the oh my god, imagine if they sang Blue by Eiffel 50, whatever it is. I have a blue house with a blue window. Blue is the color of all that I wear. But anyway, I have a girlfriend and she is so blue.
So blue. She was.
But like imagine if they were kind of so they're singing. The avatar is singing, and you press the wrong button, they go off key, and it's like a matter of getting their sequence of buttons to press good. But it gets really complicated as you get towards the final. And as you move through the competition, it gets harder and harder. They show the results of the public vote. And the amount of times I've almost been eliminated. Don't get me wrong, I have won the damn thing every single time I've played the game through. But it gets tricky towards the end, and you can't miss a beat, and you get marked on your outfit. But because the fashions are based upon what was stylish in 2002,
you did quite well.
But it's so like limited in how automated it is. There's only like 3 options for what the contestant says after the judges' comments. It's either yes, or thank you for your comments, or sounds like I need to take some time in the rehearsal room. It's one of the 3, and it's never anything else. And the judges are Simon, very distinctly is Simon. Okay. But then there's these other 2 judges in the game that they don't look like Dr. Fox, they don't look like Pete Waterman. They could be fucking anybody. There's one with... The girl judge has red hair, but she doesn't look like Sharon Osbourne. She's got dark skin, green eyes, and younger. And then the guy has this kind of yellow skin, almost like he's an alcoholic, and he wears glasses and almost a Craig Revel Horwood style tie with like piano keys on. So I have no clue who these judges are meant to be. They don't look like Randy Jackson. They don't look like Paula Abdul, so it's not that they've been copied across from the American version. Who are these 2 people judging me every Christmas when I play this game through with my brother? Who are they? I play this game every year, and like, there's not many songs to pick between. But a lot of the songs I heard for the first time, like older songs.
Through Pop Idol.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Every Day is a Winding Road, I know from that. Crush. It's just a little crush. There's so many. I feel like I've played the Pop Idol game so many times that I've somehow come out with a profit.
Like spiritually?
I feel like I've played that game more times than it's meant to be played.
Oh, I would argue a Pop Idol game is supposed to be played once.
But if you were to play it once, it takes about an hour to get to the end. I
just don't see the point in it, because do you create a character?
Yeah, you create a character, and then every week... The funniest part is styling them, and then hearing your favourite songs sung out of tune by a robotic voice.
Perfect.
Like, it's wild. It's wild. Also, oh my god, in the first live show of the series that Will Young won, there was this. So they like introduced all the contestants that had got through, and there was this larger guy, like very very big, and he came in, and I don't know why, but my assumption was that he was going to sing like Pavarotti, like, and then Ant and Dec were like, oh, he's had a bit of a rough week. I'm sure you've seen on the papers what's happened. I just assumed he'd had a heart attack. But it was that his throat. It was that his throat was too sore, so he couldn't sing and had to go through to next week. Circa Diana Vickers in full.
Missing out on meeting
Mariah, the skinny legend.
Yeah,
like,
I thought so.
Honestly though, the shot of not Mariah Carey in bed.
Diana Vickers lying.
Diana Vickers in bed, a full face of makeup, eyelashes out to here. It's moments like that I want to do this podcast. Like, it's probably my all-time favourite X Factor moment, is her coughing her way through this interview, and then it has this shot to her looking really, really sad, but just so glamorous in bed. And all the other contestants got to meet Mariah Carey, and it like shows Mariah Carey like gliding down the stairs, and then it shows all the contestants, but who is absent? Oh, notably Diana, because she's in bed. I mean, who's the real people's princess?
Jesus.
Fake friends, real TV.
Freddie just presented to me his hardbook copy of the book What Not to Wear, which was an option for this week, but like most of Freddie's clothes, I chose against it.
Wow, okay, that's very fine. Do you know, I was having a conversation with someone recently about like, so I've recently for the first time ever bleached my hair, or like done anything interesting with my hair. And I mean, maybe bleaching my hair isn't interesting to some people, but to me,
it was
blue, and then it was green, and now it's blonde, which I quite like. I feel very perfect illusion right now. but Aidan looks like you fucking wish.
It's less illusion and more delusion.
Convince yourself. And anyway, I was like, someone was asking me, oh, what made you make the decision to bleach your hair? And I said, well, it was about time. I've never taken a fashion risk in my whole life. And then they grabbed my hands and said, honey, every time you leave the house is a fashion risk.
Fashion risk? My favourite is the they weren't Crocs, but they almost were Crocs.
What? That I had?
The Toy Story.
They weren't Crocs!
They were a few holes away from a Croc.
They were holy. Do you know what? I have something to show you. So I've thrown them away now. But because I loved those shoes so much, I've kept...
You've not kept
I've kept a rag. I'm showing Aidan like a piece of rag that I cut out of these shoes and kept because I loved them. Do you know, I did go into the Vans shop today. Speaking of shoes, I bought some running trainers today because I have...
Oh, do you jog?
What's the worst outfit you've ever seen me in? As in, like, not not a risk, because I know that I've started taking minor risks recently, but like a
Can you
uni.
stand up?
Ah!
No,
This is so simple.
I actually don't.
This is just what I wore to work.
No, that's calm. I actually don't know. And maybe this makes me sound a little bit self-involved, but the only fashion journeys that I can vividly remember are my own.
I mean, I haven't made many journeys. It's normally a black pop singer t-shirt and jeans.
There is a t-shirt. There is a t-shirt. I think Summer Freddie, not now, but a few years back, still, maybe you still do, and maybe this is not the thing to bring up. Summer's nearly over. Summer's over. It's fine. So you were a big fan of the baggy shorts.
Oh, yes, I was. That was a mistake. I don't wear them so much.
Also a big
Oh, actually,
fan...
no, I do. You're right. I do. I can think of a pair that I do still wear now.
But you were also a big fan of the baggy, band t-shirt. And, in some instances, I think a baggy top and, baggy bottoms could be a look. But when paired with the Toy Story shirts, it just took away that there was, this is an intentional look. This is someone who's, maybe, if you wore some Vans, maybe you could, it could have verged into skater, but the Toy Story threw it into emotionally underdeveloped man.